Hello, I'm Peter Cuffle, and this is my Lab 6 video. So I'll start with going over my code. So up here at the top, I have my pins defined, and I have my period defined, my 20 millisecond or 20,000 microsecond period defined. And then here I initialize values that I'm going to use later on for my map function. So these are essentially my bounds. For the analog values read from the potentiometer, and then the bounds for the T control for the motor, and then -90 to 90 for the angle. And then here in the setup function, I define my baud rate. I set pin 6 to an output. Pin 6 is the pin that I'm using as my PWM pin for my motor. And here in the loop function, first I read off the value from the potentiometer, and then the next line I map that value to the PWM range, which for my motor I found it best to be 1650 plus or minus 950. So that was what I was, the range on which I was getting the most consistent 180 degree turn for my motor. And then here, I'm just, these next three lines, I'm just defining an output string so that I can output these values nicely to the serial monitor. And down here is where I actually control the motor. I just digital write to my servo pin, which I've called servo. I just digital write high, delay it for T control microseconds, which was this mapped value here, and then I turn it off for the remainder of the period. So now I'll just demonstrate the serial monitor. So I'll go down to -90 degrees, and I'll go up to about 90 degrees. Here I have this black wire connected to ground on the Arduino. This red wire is connected to +5 volts on the Arduino. Here I have the wiring for the motor. This black wire grounds the motor. This red wire is connected to +5 volts, and then this blue wire is connected to the PWM pin. And then here I have the potentiometer. This left purple wire grounds the potentiometer. The yellow wire on the right is connected to +5 volts, and then the blue wire in the middle is connected to the analog pin that's reading the values. So here I'll just demonstrate the servo control by the potentiometer. So I'll go to one end, it's the -90 end, and then I'll move it 180 degrees to 90 degrees.